Corinne, you know that we have the stand-up in April. Do you know what we can present?
Hi, Anna. Yeah, sure. I was thinking about introducing our great department of research and development, global medical patient affairs, human resources, and facility management. We are supporting the business for the whole drug development process, for the outsourcing needs, and we are also covering transversal activities as facility management and catering.
That's great, Corinne. We know obtaining a new drug is a long process that involves many actors in both the medical and administrative fields and requires many steps. Our team work with internal customer during all these steps. And my job is to work with the team on all issues to improve purchasing performance within different programs and promote best purchasing practices to internal customer. It would be interesting to present everything we do to our colleagues. Also, I heard that our team will tell their mission through the Saclay Research Center. Is it true?
Yes, absolutely. By the way, Pauline is in direct of Saclay. Hi, Pauline. Pauline, how things are going at Saclay?
Hi Corinne! Things are great here. As you can see, the building is almost finalized. We will have a great place to work and support our R&D process. Do you want to join me? For the opening of our R&D center, the purchasing department has been involved on various aspects. The move to Saclay, all the scientific equipment for the laboratories, and also on the facility management. We will have great rooms and great desks to increase our performance at work and fasten the drug discovery. Now, let's meet the team working on the drug development, starting with Marie.
Hi everybody, my name is Marie and I am category manager for the lab management activities, also called lab supplies. So it is all our expenses for our internal scientists in the laboratories. The first subcategory is the purchase of scientific equipment. We buy different categories of equipment and technologies, from pipetting to mass spectrometer, passing by robots which optimize our manipulations, and also fridge or freezer for the storage of our samples, and also benchtop and food to handle safely all the activities. Then, for all this equipment, after the warranty period of 1 or 2 years, you can protect your equipment with a maintenance contract, and it is the second subcategory. To secure equipment availability and capacity, reduce downtime, and also simplify the contract management process for Servier teams, our strategy is the asset management process. So only one supplier ensures the maintenance of all our park at Servier. It's an optimization of our cost and also of our supplier panel. I work closely with Alice and she will explain you the other subcategories.
Hello everyone, my name is Alice and I am buyer on the lab management. I work closely with Mary on the purchase of equipment and maintenance, but I'm also in charge of developing the strategy for the consumables and the reagents that are used to work on the scientific equipment. We are also in charge of buying the glassware, the personal protective equipment such as gloves or lab coats. The last subcategory is the gas laboratory. We mostly use gas to use equipment that require gas to function and to do some analysis. However, if Servier does not have the equipment on site, or if we don't have the capacity to do the studies at Servier, we then decide to outsource, and this is when Marley comes along.
Hello, I am Marie, the buyer for the outsourced activities for research services. This category covers the in vitro and in vivo pharmacology, chemistry, biomarker and target discovery. So we are in the early stages of new molecular entities where molecules and proteins are being tested and manipulated. Our main mission is to find a strategic CRO with the right expertise and the right technology that will help Servier reach its ambition through innovation. So the CRO selected will conduct the study and provide us with study reports. Our scientific team in Servier will cross those reports with their own reports with internal studies that are performed at Servier until a new target is found. Once the target is validated, we can start preclinical studies on animals, and these studies are conducted by Laurent Mousset, whom I will give the floor.
Thanks, Marley. Hi, everyone. I'm Laurent, Purchasing Manager for Preclinical Development and in charge of outsourced studies to evaluate product resulting from our research. In first, in vitro and vivo studies allow the selection of drug candidates resulting from research according selectivity and quantification criteria. Next come toxicology studies, the objective of which is to determine the safety profile of the drug substance in animals to obtain information on the absorption and distribution of this drug substance by the body, how it's transformed and eliminated. These studies allow to identify potential side effects, but also to define the dose ranging for an optimal activity in humans for the clinical phases to follow.
This is so interesting. Thanks. And when we have the go for a drug candidate, we need to develop the formulation of a product that will be administered to the patients. Right, Lucy?
You're right. This is the pharmaceutical development. When you're getting your drug at the pharmacy, what do you think? You have different type of drugs? Powder, capsules, or tablets, or even injectable forms? After the research team have identified an effective active ingredient at lab scale, the pharmaceutical development has to define the better way. It means the better drug formulation to ensure that the active ingredient will still be effective in the human body. The active ingredient has to reach the seek target at the right dosage. The other mission of pharmaceutical development is to ensure that your drug composition will not change over time. For example, being stocked in a warehouse or during transportation. During this phase, we are also able to manufacture the first clinical batch to deliver the patients involved in clinical studies.
Thanks, Lucy. This seems to be very complex. So, if I understand well, the drug discovery is done internally with our equipments in our laboratories or outsourced to suppliers. Once we have the go, we need to test and find the right formulation for the drug. And when do we do the clinical trials?
Good question, Corinne. The clinical trials are a type of research that studies new tests and treatment and evaluate their effects on human health outcome. They are divided in 4 stages that my team will present to you.
Hello, my name is Anaïs, and I work on the phase 1 category studies. The studies are made on healthy volunteers and include different tasks regarding the outsourcing strategy. We include the bioequivalence studies for molecules already existing on the market, but also the first-in-man studies for new molecules.
Hello, I'm Pauline Samba, and the centralized activity category manager. The centralized activities are all the clinical study-related activities that are carried out for all sites and all countries by one selected supplier. It includes biomarker, central laboratories and logistics, central reading, biobanking, companion diagnostic, and ECOA and IELTS. I'm also leading the clinical monitoring category. The clinical monitoring is the oversight and administrative activities monitoring participants' health and efficacy of the treatment during a clinical trial. I'm also the translational medicine lead, which is a transversal field of R&D between researchers, clinical experts, and patients, and which aim to transfer the research innovations to the clinical development phases and to nourish the fundamental research with observation from the clinical research.
Hello, I'm Pauline Lala, Category Manager, Real-World Evidence, Real-World Data, working for Global Medical Affairs and Global RWE. I'm also referent and ambassador patient-in. Real-world studies provide useful information that complements clinical trial data with the potential to fill knowledge gaps regarding drug use. This data come from several sources, databases, registries, medical records, etc. They provide authorization with decision-making support. Spend is around 13 million per year. We work with global CROs, but with local ones too, in the frame of international studies. This year, 5 strategic tenders are ongoing in oncology and this scope. Clinical trials and obtaining marketing authorization cannot be done without guaranteeing the integrity of data, compliance with regulations, and monitoring of adverse effects.
Hi everyone, I am Dina Giraudier. I am Category Manager for Data Strategy Activities. Inside a group like Servier, data is everywhere. And in the R&D, we can classify the data in 2 types. The first type is data produced by Servier during the research phase or the clinical development phase. The second type of data is external data. It's data coming from third-party sources, and this data brings complementary information to our data. The data strategy activities, they are all the services related to organizing the collection of the data that we produce, facilitating the access to third-party sources, and finally do the analysis of all this data. Let's talk now about something else that is really important and everywhere in the R&D.
Hello everyone, I'm Charlotte Rim. I'm Category Manager for Regulatory Affairs and Medical Safety, which include all the activities related to regulations in the pharmaceutical industry. First, Regulatory Affairs. This is the management of clinical trial authorization and marketing authorization. Then we have Quality Assurance Department, which is in charge of monitoring compliance with pharmaceutical procedures and quality standards. The third activity is pharmacovigilance. They are managing adverse effects or any other medicine-related problem. After, we have medical review, which is in charge of providing reliable and consistent data from a medical point of view, and to bring medical expertise to all processes of a clinical study. And to finish, medical writing department, whose mission is to provide regulatory and technical documents that comply with international guidelines, internal SOPs, and which are in accordance with our strategic R&D objectives.
That's very clear. Thank you. So our department covers all the steps of a drug development. And beyond the market authorization, many challenges to face. The move to Saclay will improve the synergies between the research and the development teams. By the way, that's not only the case for our team, but also for outsourcing managers. Hello, Laura and Aurélie. Could you please tell us more about them?
Hello, Corinne. Yes, sure, with pleasure. With Laura, we are outsourcing management managers in dotted lines with the R&D outsourcing managers called OM. And the OM are in charge of supporting R&D customers on setting and following up their subcontracting activities since April 2021. So to date, there are 30-ish outsourcing managers over R&D, split by R&D departments. Most of the outsourcing managers possess a scientific background, and they are all trained on legal, purchasing, and risk assessment processes. So now, outsourcing manager is a professionalized function within Servier R&D.
With Aurélie, we manage a community. Our role is divided in 3 major activities: to animate the community by organizing several rituals, workshops, and work groups, and be close to the team; to train the outsourcing manager to different processes and tools; and to monitor the performance of the outsourcing manager by using KPI, QC, and quarterly dashboards. From the beginning, we note a very good satisfaction of the requester and a strong commitment of the outsourcing manager in the community, and a relevant progress of the P2P KPIs. Corinne, we hope our explanation meets your expectations.
Wow, it will be a new way of working for the team. By the way, Saclay will not be only an R&D center. This will also be a great life and workplace.
Yes, indeed, Corinne. Hello, everyone. I'm Elodie Vermeules, Category Manager for Facility Management. The FM team and the operationals are working on the equipment and services for our well-being at work. The facilities will be certified Biodiversity Life, WELL, and for sure compliant with the CSR approach of Survey. At Surval, you have already a nice idea of the new open spaces like behind me. The purchasing process is even an innovation by itself. We are already working in co-construction on the specification with our FM provider. The topics: building maintenance, such as elevators, automatic doors, generators, air conditioning, or fire alarms. Environmental management, such as waste or recycling services. And even your future services on site, such as cleaning, reception, security, green spaces, or catering. Laurence will now tell you more about the catering side. Me? I'm going to visit Saclay. Bye!
Absolutely, Elodie. Hello, I am Laurence Perrino, Category Manager for Catering. In the continuity of well-being at work, catering for employees will evolve further with the opening of Saclay site. Indeed, the catering service will tend towards WELL certification in order to answer a catering focused on fresh, seasonal, and cook-on-site products. Today, catering in France means 1,900 meals a day on 6 sites. Oh, I leave you. It's lunchtime for us in French. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. This is now very clear what you are doing and what are the missions. This is very exciting. Bye-bye!